I'm feeling different today. I am in the part of discovery, in the part of remembrance, in the part of awareness that is not so pleasant. Hello, 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 my lovelies. Well, I hope everyone's doing well. I just, feel called to talk about something very personal. It's all personal. I generally am in such a joyous mood when I talk about what's on my heart, and I'm feeling different today. I am in the part of discovery, in the part of remembrance, in the part of awareness that is not so pleasant. Yeah. And then it dawned on me that I'm doing a disservice by not talking about the unpleasant side of awareness. I've been talking about all the wonderful things that happen when you come out of rapid transformational therapy, how you have clarity, how you have peace, how you experience purpose, how you stop procrastinating, stop people pleasing, stop doubting yourself, how you're able to move forward with your life and with your purpose. There's some other things about this awareness that are not so pleasant. Don't get me wrong. I would never reverse this process for myself. I would never take it back. I would never change my mind about the transformation, the remembrance, the awareness that I have found and continue to find, because once this ball starts rolling, it just keeps on going, right? And the benefits far outweigh anything that I don't consider beneficial. But there is this thing about becoming aware that helps you to see not only aspects of yourself that you had been ignoring, wonderful aspects of yourself. It also enables you to see the way that you were being has contributed to some of the misuse or abuse or neglect that you have experienced. That your negative thoughts about yourself, your limiting beliefs about yourself, caused you to endure treatment that you, in retrospect, did not deserve or did not want, do not want. Now you refuse it. Now it's not even an option, but the realization that for whatever the reason may be, and we uncovered those reasons during the process, we were allowing ourselves to be in the company of those who did not treat us well, who did not honor us, because we weren't honoring ourselves, quite frankly. Yeah. So you know what happens? You don't honor yourself, you attract folks who don't honor you. And so the awareness allows you to look back and say, wow, I really put up with a lot of stuff. And we can let that go. But then we have to look up and see ourselves surrounded by those same people that we put up with all this stuff from, and the realization that perhaps we created a story that supported the vision of some of our relationships that gave us comfort. We created a lie around some of those relationships because we wanted it to be something. We wanted it to be a loving relationship. We wanted it to be reciprocal. We wanted it to be a relationship where, you both had one another's backs, or that you were supportive of one another's hopes and dreams, and where you were, where that person was giving back to you, where you were pouring into them. And then when you realize that that's not the case, and probably was never the case, and yet you allowed yourself to believe that it was, now what do you do with that? What do you do with that energy? What do you do with that information? What do you do with the feelings surrounding it? Because there's so many emotions. Because once you realize, in the aftermath of all of that maltreatment and or neglect, once you realize that some of the relationships you actually worked hard to cultivate and put time and energy and emotion into were relationships with narcissistic people who were just opportunists, taking advantage of your good nature. Oh, not that you're perfect, because I'm not perfect. None of us is perfect. But when you look back at some of those relationships that you cultivated due to your own limiting beliefs about yourself, and then you come out with this awareness and see the people and see yourself, what do you do with all of that emotion? How do you move through it? You're gonna forgive yourself, right? And it would be in your best interest to forgive them. Not only for them, but for you, because they wouldn't have been able to do half the stuff they did if you didn't let them. So if you don't forgive them, it's a part of you that's not forgiving yourself. Yes, I know. I can already hear the feedback. Put it in the chat. And then you release yourself from any guilt and you let it go. Now, forgiving others doesn't mean you continue to put yourself in harm's way. No, because remember, it is a new day and you are no longer operating under the assumption that you deserve that kind of treatment. So putting up with it is no longer an option. That ship has sailed. How do you shift out of the situation, the relationships? You'll work that out. You'll figure that out. But one word: boundaries. Boundaries. But before we can really effectively assert those boundaries in a way that isn't fueled with anger or regret or pain or guilt, is we first have to release ourselves for whatever role we played in allowing that behavior to occur because we were unaware. It all comes right back here. Believe it or not, there's no way around that. There's no pretty words. There's no words of encouragement. There's no, ooh, it's going to be butterflies and fucking rainbows. Because quite frankly, that shit hurts. And you have to feel what you feel. You can't erase it. You can't deny it. You can't pretend it isn't there. You have to feel your way through it. You have to allow the feelings to happen. You have to acknowledge where you feel it in the body. You have to send attention to that area of your body where you're feeling the pressure of the pain. Because yeah, I know what you're feeling. You're experiencing it as anger, but at the bottom of any of that anger is really pain if you break it down. You have to acknowledge that the first betrayal happened when you betrayed yourself. And that opened the doorway for other betrayals. You have to ask yourself the question, why did I allow that? It should, well, if you've come through rapid transformational therapy, that answer will be fresh in your mind. If you have not, it might take a little bit more digging on your part. Holla at your girl if you need any help. But if you can first acknowledge, why did I allow that? Answer yourself honestly. Tell yourself the truth. Ask yourself, in my present state of self-love and self-awareness and self-compassion, with eyes wide open, am I willing to still allow that? Now knowing who I am, why I'm here, and what's available to me, would I still allow that? If the answer is no, brava. If the answer is yes, we have some work to do. And even if the answer is no, you have some work to do. Pour some compassion on it for you alone. Love on yourself. And then begin to set boundaries that honor that decision. Release any of that pain. Let it go. How does that look? Well, it looks different for different people. For some of us, it is working out. Some of us, it's yoga. Some of us, we need to release it through the dance. Some of us, we need to release it through sounds. There are so many ways to release that energy. If you need a hand with any of that, again, holler at your girl. We can explore the options. There are many. But the first thing we have to do is acknowledge it. Tell ourselves the truth. Acknowledge where you feel it in your body. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to release it. Set loving boundaries. Loving you, that is. Allow loving you to guide you in setting boundaries and maintaining boundaries. But at the beginning of all of this is you taking care of you, loving you, acknowledging how you feel, and giving yourself love and compassion to move past it. Move through it, because you can't go around it. There are going to be days that feel like this. There are going to be days when you feel a little shitty. That awareness doesn't feel so sweet. How do I smile through it? I smile through it knowing the answer to my question, which is absolutely not. I'm no longer willing to put myself in harm's way. And that makes me smile, because I remember how far I've come, that I don't have to stutter to answer that question, and there is no hesitation. The smile is not meant to hide the pain. The smile is to acknowledge that I am not the pain. The smile is to acknowledge that I am in fact processing that part. And even by speaking to you now and sharing with you now, I am releasing it. I am releasing it. Even this is an act of self-love, of self-acceptance, self-awareness, self-compassion. I know what I can control, and that is me. And I'm grateful for that awareness today, even in the midst of some pain. So, thank you for listening, my lovelies. I hope that you are able to receive this lovingly, and with the awareness that anything worth having is worth the effort, and first and foremost, you are worth it. I am worth it, I know. You are worth it. You're worth the work. You're worth giving yourself time to work through whatever was previously holding you back. Do it for you. Release it for you. Till next time, my love.